one of the things where I was like, she's got my back. She's definitely got my back. We saw this one house in Vallejo and I loved it. I mean, I loved it so much, but this is the only one where I was like, oh my God, I think this is my house. I dreamed about it, but we got the inspections back and it needed a new roof, like not within the year, it needed a new roof immediately. It had problems with the piers and the structural supports underneath. It needed, when we really looked at the whole thing, it needed like $70-some thousand worth of work before I could even move in. And you were like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I feel like when your realtor sees how much you love something and it's like, don't do it, because it's gonna be an albatross around your neck. It's gonna be too big for you and too much. Even though you're ready to lay down that money, you know, then it makes it obvious that it's not just about, oh, let me complete this sale as fast as I can. Let me just get this money. Because that house would have gone for, you know, more than what I actually bought the house that I ended up purchasing. So I really felt like you were in it to help me get into the right house for me, that was the right amount of work for me, that was the right amount for my budget, and that wasn't gonna, you know, just break me as a new homeowner by being so much work and so much money, and then I would be underwater, you know, so fast. You know, you were not gonna let me sink like that. I was surprised initially when we first started to work together because you called me and we talked for like an hour. I don't talk to my grandparents for an hour on the phone, you know, like I was like, wow, she's like really spending time with me. And I didn't know what to expect. You know, I've never bought a house. I've never worked with a realtor, but I was surprised, especially because I feel like customer service now is just becoming so lost. It's not very often that I find somebody where I'm like, whoa, this person is actually kind of blowing me away with their customer service, and you were doing that. You know, I grew up with a stepfather who has invested a lot in real estate and gave me a lot of advice that was very helpful through this process, especially about the finances, how all that was gonna work. But my stepfather is a man who hates realtors. And I have encountered so many people who are like, why do they put their photos on their cards or their signs? Why do they do this? They're just trying to scam you. They're doing this, you know? And so I was kind of apprehensive. And man, I'm so glad that I had a realtor because, okay, first of all, as a first-time home buyer, there are so many things that are brand new, so many things to learn, so many different types of things that you need to understand about the contract, so many things about how different ways that you can pay or make the financing work. And I could not have done that on my own. And I feel like you were super patient. I mean, obviously, this is not like, oh, let's meet once and we go see some houses and then we buy it and then it's done. We had to meet several times. We had to go out every weekend looking for houses. And so during that time, you were able to continue to explain things to me. I was able to sort of ask the questions, you know, like maybe you would explain something to me last week, but you know, I didn't quite get it. And then when you explained it to me the second week in a row, I was like, oh, I get that. I would be so excited to recommend people to work with you because, you know, like I was saying, I felt like the customer service that I received from you was just above and beyond. It surprised me. I didn't have a lot of expectations going into it because I've never done this. I didn't know what I should expect. But you certainly went above. When I started sort of to realize, okay, here's how the process goes, I was like, dang, she's working for me. Like, I didn't realize how supported I was going to be by you. Like with all these other things, it wasn't just buying the house. It's like, well, here's also how you're gonna get the house fixed and into the shape that you want the house to be in before you move in. I thought I was gonna be on my own for that, and I am not. So one of the other things that I feel great about is that I don't feel like it's over. I mean, thank God the buying process is over, but I feel like when I'm working with Tanja, she's supporting me after the fact. So if I now need a plumber, or I need to do this, or I have a question about, oh my God, my gutters, this is happening, Tanja, what do I do? She's gonna be there still to let me, to help me out and let me know it's not like, oh, boom, gone.